Hello, League of Extraordinary Irrelevance. Finally, my team has performed like they should. I feel pretty bad because I went up against Bryzik this week, and even though Philip Rivers had a huge game, I think he had like 40 points in our league, I was still able to come out and pull off the victory. Had some big performers this week. I know Jimmy Graham had another huge week, 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Reggie Bush had a big game. Torrey Smith finally did something for me. So I'd like to say that finally my team has performed like they should have. Being rated the best team after the draft. I do still think I do have the best team. I had a couple bad weeks. I made a mistake of playing Eli Manning last week, even though it really wouldn't have made a difference because Tom Brady didn't do that well, and also I had some other performers that didn't do too well. Reggie Bush wasn't playing. But I like the way the league is setting up for me in the future. I know I'm playing Ozone this week, who still doesn't have a win. I don't know if there's a word for it. Winless. Man, he talked a bunch of smack before the draft and right after as well, and just seems like your team's not performing. I know I did do a trade with you for Roddy White, and he hasn't really done much for me either, so I feel your pain a little bit, but I'm looking forward to beating you this week. I think after that I got Amrit, who surprisingly is 3-1. It's pretty impressive for that lackluster squad. And I'm pulling up your team right now. You had Danny Woodhead, who had, I think, a career game. Wes Welker, who was with the best quarterback this season, hands down, with Peyton Manning. But the thing is, I think the rest of your team, especially this week, and looking forward when I come to play, is going to be kind of weak. You got Ted Ginn, who hasn't been doing much. Vernon Davis, who after his first game has really not been too great. You got lucky with the Chiefs D picking him off waivers, I think last week. Andrew Luck's been pretty solid though, but I just don't think you're gonna be able to match up with me in 2 weeks. But overall, the league's been pretty close. I know there's no undefeated teams, which is pretty good. There's one 0-4 team, obviously, which is O'Neal. There's 3 1-3 teams with Joe Buck yourself, who is, I believe, Jeff Swanson. You have my brother, the Lewis Litigators. He's 1-3 as well. And then you also have Mike Monday, who's 1-3. But the thing is, they're all pretty decent squads, so the season could really turn up to be really exciting towards the end with 6 playoff spots. I still feel that I do have a great chance at taking the championship this year. Let me go run through some of the teams or some of the matchups for this week. Obviously, like I said before, I'm playing O'Neal, which I should destroy in that game. Lido versus Amrit. That's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. I do like Cam Newton against Arizona. Andrew Luck's going up against Seattle, so it's going to be a real test for Andrew Luck there. Marshawn Lynch has been really solid. I like him a lot. Forte, I think he's the number 3 back in the league, in my opinion. I think it goes Peterson, Jamal Charles, and then Forte, and then I'd probably put number 4 at McCoy, even though he's had a really good first 3 games. So I like your running backs over Amrit's. Victor Cruz has been solid, but it's really a toss-up against Wes Welker with Peyton Manning over there. And they are playing Dallas. That defense has been really bad. Steve Smith, Heartline, it's really a toss-up. I know Steve Smith has had a couple rough weeks as of late. You do have Tony Gonzalez, though, who's been a stud. He had a huge game against New England. And then you have the Seahawks defense, who's awesome. I like Jared Cook. I know he's been a little, ever since week 1, he's been a little bad, but I still like your tight end there. I think I'm liking Lido in this one. I'm taking the underdog. Who else is playing? Let's do Tallman versus Jason. I think Matt is pretty lucky because I believe Jason has Peterson, who was on bye this week. So it's he's getting pretty lucky there. And he finally he doesn't have Flacco playing this week. So and then he has Stafford against Romo. That's a toss-up. I like Foster against Pierre Thomas. I hate Ridley, but I hate Pete as well, so that's a toss-up. I like AJ Green over Demarius. I like Colson over Bo. I like Decker over Stevie Johnson. I like Bennett over Chandler. I do like Edelman, though, better than Moore. I know Moore's had one good game, but it's about it. And then Broncos defense. I think I'm going to have to go with Jason in this one, even though he has Peterson on the bench. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think Jason's going to go on to be 4-1 with Tallman dropping to 3-2. The Lewis Litigators versus Chris Tane. I don't even know how you say your team name. Honestly, it's an idiotic team name, but the thing is, she has Peyton Manning, so obviously he was one of the best picks of the draft. After Jimmy Graham, that is. But Vic is going up against the Giants. I know Giants, they haven't been too great against QBs this year, especially with mobile QBs such as like Cam Newton, who destroyed us a couple weeks ago. But I like Chris Johnson better than CJ Spiller. I like Fred Jackson better than Darren McFadden. I like Calvin better than Dez. I like Mike Wallace better than Pierre Garçon. I like Stephen Hill. Gates, I give her that. But I do like DeMarco Murray. I'm giving this one to Charbel and the Lewis Litigators. Then we have Mike Monday versus Sapansky. Kaepernick Ryan. Kaepernick's been garbage. I have him in another league. I can't stand the guy. Jamal Charles has been solid. Like I said, I think he's a number 2 back in the league. I kind of wanted him, but I'm pretty sure he drafted him before me. I like Alfred Morris against Bilal Powell. I'll take Andre over Larry. He hasn't been doing too much, Larry Fitzgerald, even though he had a really nice week 1, but since then he hasn't really done much. I like Julio Jones over Chris Givens. Mike Williams, Michael Floyd. I don't know. This whole game is pretty close, actually. I do like Witten over Jermichael Finley, but the thing is, he really didn't do too much last week. I'm not really sure who's going to win this one, but I'm going to bet that this game is within 10 points, which in our league is pretty close. And I think our final matchup is Joe Bryzik versus Jeff Swanson. Phillip Rivers has been awesome, especially going up against Oakland. I think he's going to have a really good game, but you are going against Aaron Rodgers. I think Rodgers is going to have a little off game, though, so I think Phillip Rivers is going to pull this one out on that one. McCoy, I like him better than Gore. I think Gore had a really fluke week last week. I think he's going to be held to under 8 points. It's a prediction. Le'Veon Bell's on bye, which kind of hurts you. Had a great week last week. I like obviously Noshawn wins that. I don't know who your bench players are. Brandon Marshall versus Cecil Shorts. I'm taking Marshall. Deshaun Jackson is one of the best receivers this year. Probably ranking number 3. So I'm giving you that over Bolden. I'm going to give you Josh Gordon over Kenbrell Tompkins because I have a feeling Gronkowski's coming back this week. And then if he comes back this week, I think you should start him instead of Cecil Shorts and keep Julius Thomas in the tight end, who I think he's already going to beat Owen Daniels there because Julius Thomas has been a beast this year. Then Ahmad Bradshaw versus Hakeem Nicks. I don't know, that's really a toss-up. I like Jeff Swanson with the Bears defense, and Blair Walsh is on bye, so he's been solid. But so I think this week, Bryzik's going to win this week. that concludes my video. I know it's been my first one. I'll try updating some more later on. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed it.